something feels different this season. For the first time in half a decade, Nikola Jokic, the man who's basically a walking algorithm for basketball perfection, isn't leading the league in efficiency. Not in PER, not in box plus minus. For most players, that would be no big deal. For Jokic, it's headline news because he's owned those categories for 5 straight years. And yet, that tiny dip tells a bigger story, one that could signal a real changing of the guard in the NBA. So, what's actually going on? When people say Jokic is slipping, it almost sounds funny. He's averaging 20 points, 14 boards, and 11 assists on 60% shooting, a casual triple-double. He's 5th in PER, 4th in BPM, and still leads the league in value over replacement player. The only reason people are calling this a down year is he's taking just 13 shots a night, 5 fewer than usual, which would be the 3rd lowest of his entire career. That's not regression, that's self-restraint. He's letting others cook. But when your floor is everyone else's ceiling, even a slow start looks historic. And yet, while Jokic is calmly orchestrating, a few guys around the league are going nuclear. You might have heard the phrase, skinny Luka. This summer, Doncic went through a transformation so visible that even casual fans noticed. Gone was the bloated look that sparked memes and management frustration. In its place, a lean, relentless scorer who looks like he's on a mission. He dominated the Eurobasket tournament, came into camp in shape, and started the season detonating everything in sight. 45 points, 12 rebounds, 8 assists per game on 60% shooting. He's not just filling stat sheets, he's leading the entire NBA by nearly 10 points per game. That's MJ-level separation. Rumors out of LA suggest the Mavericks might eventually struggle to share the ball once LeBron and Austin Reeves return from their short absences. But right now, Luka's offense looks untouchable. The kind of heater that makes you ask if we're watching the best version of him yet? But Luka is not the only young phenom rewriting the record books. When Greg Popovich called Victor Wembanyama an alien, it sounded like coach speak. Turns out he was underselling it. At 22, Wemby's averaging 30 points, 14 rebounds, and nearly 5 blocks a night, leading the NBA in rebounds, blocks, and overall defensive impact. The Spurs? Still undefeated. They've got the #1 defense, the top net differential, and the 2nd best simple rating score system in the league. That's not just a hot start, that's a full-blown arrival. Fans are already whispering about whether he could be the youngest MVP in NBA history. The craziest part? He's doing it effortlessly. No ego, no force, just smooth, terrifying dominance. But while Wemby's changing the future, the East still belongs to a familiar beast. Giannis Antetokounmpo might be the most quietly unstoppable player in the game. We've reached the point where 35-point nights barely move the needle. He's leading the league in scoring, PER, and BPM again. The difference is perception. With Wemby and Luka lighting up feeds, Giannis almost feels like old news. But this normal Giannis season would be career-defining for anyone else. He's the Eastern Conference's Jokic, a once-in-a-generation talent so consistent we stop being amazed. The Chicago Bulls. Yes, those Bulls. The same team everyone wrote off as mid-tier at best. They're the last undefeated team in the East and sit 3rd in the entire league in SRS. This isn't luck. They're beating quality opponents and doing it with balance. And the engine behind it all? Josh Giddey. At just 23, he's averaging 22 points, 8 assists, and 9 rebounds on 59% true shooting. He's become the glue and the spark at once. Even wilder, he's making just $25 million per year on his new extension. That ranks 83rd in the league. 83rd! Behind role players. If you're looking for the league's best bargain, it might just be in Chicago. But not every powerhouse is thriving right now. Despite Jokic's numbers, the Nuggets are only 3-2, and both losses came after meltdowns late in games against Golden State and Portland. It's unusual to see Denver lose composure in the clutch, and some fans are asking if Jokic's unselfishness has crossed into passivity. He's shooting just 13 times a night, while leading the NBA in assists and rebounds. Maybe he's pacing himself. Maybe he's testing his teammates. But make no mistake, a locked-in Jokic can flip that switch whenever he wants. If this is his version of a slow start, the rest of the league might be in trouble when he decides to take over. And given how chaotic this season already is, that takeover might come sooner than we think. Here's Here's the bigger picture. Scoring across the NBA is insane. League-wide totals are the third highest in history, trailing only the 1961 and 1962 seasons. That's not a coincidence. It's a sign of evolution. From 7-footers like Wembanyama hitting stepbacks to guards like Luka posting big man efficiency, we're watching basketball mutate in real time. There's even speculation that this could be the first season in a decade where the MVP isn't a veteran. The torch is passing fast. And when you zoom out, it's clear. This season might be the moment the NBA officially entered its next era. As we head into November, one thing's obvious. Parity has never looked this beautiful. You've got a Spurs team that looks like a time machine project, a leaner Luka turning into a scoring cyborg, and a Jokic decline that still outpaces 90% of the league. Every night feels like a headline, and every week feels like a shift in power. So yeah, if you thought the NBA had peaked, think again. We're just getting started, because this isn't just another season. It might be the season that defines the next generation of basketball.